What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddy Live Show, episode number 170. That's okay. You can bring the beer. All right. We love beer. We love beer.
Yeah, beer is good.
We got that good Red Point stuff
Yeah,
today.
how about
So
that?
yeah, cheers. I got my Long Dong. You've got the hazy, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So we are here with Kara Atchinson, right?
Yeah.
Founder of Lone Star Technology, right? Technology. And how long has it been in business? Have you been in business with Lone Star?
You know, that's a funny story because I founded the company after I was laid off from a company in Taiwan, and I founded it just to hire myself.
Let me just get them to cut the music, sir. Juana, cut the music. Thanks, man. Sorry. I don't want to have
That's
the music
okay.
the whole time. Yeah, okay.
That's okay, but I started the company because I was laid off from a company,
Okay.
and I wanted to stay.
Okay.
And so a friend of mine said, just make your own company and hire yourself. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And he said, just do it. Trust me.
Okay.
And for several years, I floundered and
Okay.
worked on it until I finally figured out what my business was. So I
Okay.
went from buying and selling as a trader to doing a service company. So
Okay.
I provide services for clients who are outside of Taiwan.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask you when someone asks you, what do you do?
We provide quality control and project management services for people that are manufacturing their products in Taiwan or China.
Okay. So is it kind of like, are you kind of like bridging towards like the import-export type thing or
It's a little different. We are an extension of the customer's company.
Okay.
So we are involved in the day-to-day meetings, and we truly represent them. It's like outsourcing your supply chain team.
That's pretty cool. I mean, just give me one sec here. I want to make sure we've got the audio all good because we are live, right? And it's a bit of a
People
bit of a
like
production.
good audio.
Exactly,
I
right?
do.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go. How we doing here? There we go. Okay, we're good. Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I just want to make sure because there was one time where we just did it and I didn't check and there was like no audio. It's like, oh no, what happened? Yeah. All right, perfect. Okay.
Cool.
So, all right, so great. So you've been in Taiwan for 10 years or
At
so?
least 10 years. I started coming over here in year 2000.
Okay.
I worked for Texas Instruments, and they kept sending me here, and finally
Okay.
I stayed.
So where are you from originally?
I
then?
was born in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And most recently coming from Dallas, Texas,
Okay.
which is where my kids are. That's where we left the kids.
Okay. So they're in Texas.
Yeah,
And
they're
you guys
grown.
are here.
They're grown,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we-
tell me about the kids. I mean,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, so Mike is, let's see, he's 38, and my daughter's 33.
Okay. So
I've
they're.
got a granddaughter that's 9.
Oh, nice. Do you get
And,
to see her much?
Not enough, but I'm
Not
going
enough.
back.
Okay.
Going back to go see her.
You going
and
for
spend time.
Christmas?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So-
To Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So yeah, it's it's been a good place. I love Dallas, but I really like living in Taiwan too.
Okay. Yes, Taiwan has been. I've been here for. Actually, this month is 20 years. Came here when I was like 23-ish, and planned on coming for 1 or 2 years, and I'm still here. So yeah.
It gets under your skin.
When you stay for a while and then you go back to visit and you're like, this is kind of nice, but I feel more at home. I don't know, in Taiwan. It's kind
You're
of weird.
different.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel like a visitor when I go back to Dallas.
Okay. Yeah.
Even though I fit in, it's just when I come back, I have that I'm here, and I go, wow, I'm home.
As soon as you land in
It is.
Taoyuan, right? It's just like, I'm home.
And you feel the humidity, like
The
yeah.
humidity's
I'm home.
like, yes, I'm at. The funny thing about the humidity, when I go back to Canada, it's really dry, and I never really noticed until I came here. When I go back now, I have to like load up on like lotions and stuff because I'm getting like itchy. It's so
Yeah.
dry. It's weird. And you come here and you're kind of
Yeah, I'm headed
always
to Albuquerque after I go to Dallas and see family.
Yep.
I'm going to go see more family in Albuquerque.
Uh-huh.
And that's dry. You need to drink
Okay.
a lot of water.
Okay. Cool. So, how are you with spicy stuff usually?
I like spicy
You like
stuff.
spicy? Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay, let's grab a first wing and then we'll just dive in. What do you think? Yeah.
I see I've got an assortment of drinks here, too.
So we've got a beer because we
got
can
a beer,
have a beer,
and
which is nice.
looks like some horchata.
This is horchata. You know
Yeah.
what? It's amazing because you would know about horchata,
Texas, right.
obviously, right? But yeah, it's amazing how many people don't. So
Well, it's made
and-
from
and-
rice. It should be popular here, right?
it should be right. But you know what? we introduced it a while. I'm not saying we were the first ever, and it's a stir stick, right? Yeah, and you know what? It's funny because every single person, 170, every
You
single
tricked
one.
me, yeah.
It's funny. No, yeah.
That's
so that's
nice.
the
So the
horchata.
cinnamon on top too.
Yeah. So yeah, we make our own horchata. We make basically our own everything here, which is it's been pretty good. Pretty good.
These look pretty hot.
These are good. So let's start here. So you can go drum or wing. So we're just gonna go like that, and we'll just start with the first one. The first one's just buffalo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
So
grab
buffalo.
the drum or the wing, whatever you like, and then we'll dive right in there. Yes.
This looks really good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I
yeah.
didn't realize you guys had wings.
Oh, really? Yeah. You know, so the funny thing about the wings, you can go for that. We started. Quick thing about me. We started. It's been about 15 years, and we started in a night market with a stall. My
Really?
wife and I. Yeah. And that was okay. Did that for 1 year, and then about 3.5 years in a really small place in Danshui, then another place in Tianmu, and then this one. And every time we do it, we kind of make it like kind of like the hole-in-the-wall Mexican thing with like the bright colors and all that stuff. And that was kind of what we liked and what we missed. But when we did this iteration of it, it was we thought, I think the locals, they don't know about that.
Yeah.
You know, hole-in-the-wall Mexican, you know. So people would look at it and think of it like oh, it's some exotic thing. Like we'll try it one day, you know.
Yeah.
But when we did this one, we were pretty big on the local craft beers already. It's like, you know, shout out to like Red Point and Tilted Shack and 23, all those guys, right? And so when I built this one, I made it kind of like all the things that I miss, like almost like a sports bar feel, but like really Western feel, right?
Yeah.
So when we did that, it's been great for us because we still do all the Mexican food, but we added a couple things like wings and sliders, like things like that. But still, everything else is the same. You know, we grind our own corn for the tortillas.
Oh, really?
Like we do everything. So,
wow.
But yeah, no. After we did that, it was, I guess, way more attractive to locals who didn't really know what Mexican was, but they're all about trying the Western stuff.
Sure.
So they came in, and this one has been great for us. So yeah.
Well, they are good.
Thank you. Yeah, so the wings are they were kind of an afterthought at the beginning, and then we just started doing it. So this podcast, we started doing them on a Wednesday because the Wednesday we do half price wings on a Wednesday, and then the Wednesday got so busy we thought, okay, let's move it to a Tuesday, and yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, usually it's pretty good. It's pretty solid business. Restaurant business is tough. I mean, we were just talking about
It's
the COVID,
hard.
the COVID time. But yeah, it's been pretty good. A long road to get here, but yeah, I definitely have some questions for you about it because I
It's a lot
have
of
some
work.
advice. Yeah,
It is a lot of work. You know, you have to manage all the inventory and everything.
yeah.
You know, electronics don't go
They don't go bad, right? Yeah, no,
At
that's
least
cool.
You got to store them well, but they don't go bad like food items, you know.
What about like with the humidity here, right? Like
Yeah, you
I
need
have,
to make sure you store it in a good place.
Okay, yeah, because I know that when we used to live in Danshui, we had friends that lived in like Beito and like Shinbeito area, and they would always say, I mean, like a TV or any kind of electronics within like a few years, it would just like it's toast because of the sulfur.
Sulfur.
Yeah.
I lived in Beito for 1 year,
Okay.
and it's nice, you know,
It's
but
nice.
but the sulfur, just ruins everything really fast.
It's crazy. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'm curious about. We'll go back a little bit, talking about Kennedy Space Center, if that's cool. Yeah, because that's I mean, space shuttles and stuff. That's pretty cool. Like I don't know anybody who's
fun.
been involved
You know,
with that.
and
So tell me about that.
You know, when I was in university, I went to a small Baptist college out of South Carolina, out of Charleston. And that was because my husband was military and we were stationed there. And it was a good school, but I had professors try and talk me out of what I was pursuing. I was doing a computer science, but more on the science side, not on the IT side.
Gotcha.
And they said, there's much more business on the IT side. You really should think about changing from technical to business. And I didn't want to. And I would tell a professor, I said, I'm going to go work at Kennedy Spacer when I leave here. And they just like, really need to set your expectations back to reality.
No, you're not. Basically, right?
You know, and
yeah.
and so fortunately I didn't listen to them. I mean, the other part of that too is my dad is retired NASA.
Okay.
And
wow.
so he worked there, so why couldn't I work there, right?
Yeah,
So,
of course, yeah.
If you have someone
and
in
you kind
your
of have
family-
somebody who's in already, and he kind of knows the ins and outs, right?
Yeah, so it's entirely possible.
For sure.
You know.
It's got to be difficult to get in, but yeah, you did. That's
was a
pretty
good time.
amazing. That's amazing. I mean, is there any cool stories or anything? I mean, is it all classified? Or?
No, we were all, right out of college because
Okay.
it was a few years after Challenger, and they were just going back to space.
Okay.
And they got these new equipment, and we're all putting it together, and nothing had been done over this time. I mean, so much was still needing to be done, so they just hired people by the droves. And we were all like 24-ish, these young punks,
Okay.
just having a blast.
That's
Engineers, turn them loose and let us go work on things. So
Okay.
it was an exciting time.
Okay, wow.
That's a great way to start with that group.
Yeah, I would imagine that's an amazing way to start sort of a career in like tech, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
I
kind of like
didn't
the
know
top,
it.
right?
I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
The pay is low because it's a glory job, right?
Sure.
Everybody wants to do it.
Sure.
But I didn't know that I was going to learn world-class teamwork there.
Okay. Okay.
And
Wow.
it's really important for people coming out of university to go to a place that has that good
Yeah.
atmosphere and good supportive environment, because if they don't have that,
Yeah.
you become what you join. And so if you're in a bad group, you
Yeah.
have an attitude, and that just will go with you throughout your whole career.
100% agree.
So,
We get a
it's
lot of
important.
interns, and we get lots of students and stuff. They come in here, and we have a pretty good team here, and we try to keep everything really open and stuff like that. And I think sometimes people don't realize it, and then they'll be like, "Oh well, I'm going to go down the street for 10 cents more or something."
Right.
And then they go, and it's just like they get people get treated really badly, and it's kind of it's a weird thing. So I think landing something good in the beginning is awesome. And it's really a cool
I learned
thing.
about training programs too, because
Yeah.
we had so many of us. We just literally created a spreadsheet of things you need to know, and
Okay.
all of us wander around and did our own self-training. We had our process, and so we'd go talk to people and ask questions from experts,
Okay.
and train ourselves. And when we felt we were ready, they would put us before what they called a board. They stand board us,
Okay.
and they would go in there, and they're just people with index cards just hammering questions at you.
Okay.
People would come out of there crying. I mean, it was brutal.
It's got to be, yeah.
But that was the point, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you need to be tough. You cannot go in there and
Yeah, no, I think
cry,
you got it's mentally tough. It's so important, right? For me, I actually before I came here, I actually went to school for criminology. I wanted to be a police officer in Canada, and I went and I did all the tests and I passed everything, and I got all the way to the final interview, and I was like maybe 22 or something, like really young, and I didn't pass the last interview. And it was because I was too young and I didn't really have that life. Well, this is what they said. I didn't really have that life experience of, like something really nasty happening to, someone I know, or like a murder or something like that.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, I haven't seen that.
Sorry.
I haven't seen anyone murdered. I'm sorry, And they're like, well, you need to go out and experience that a little bit.
what was this job for?
RCMP, police officer, right? So in
Well,
Canada, yeah.
Maybe they do. I mean, I know police officers really do have a hard.
They might.
hard
I
job.
would imagine. I wanted to do it for a long time. That was a bit disheartening for me, but you can't reapply for 2 years. So I ended up
Wow.
coming here, and then that was the 2 years I was going to do, and then I stayed. Now I'm happy that I didn't pass that. So
Sometimes doors close
Yeah.
because other ones need to open.
100%. Yeah. So cool job. So from there you went to Texas, right? Texas Instruments, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
left the Space Center and I joined a Raytheon and worked for them
Mm-hmm.
on a. That one is a classified project.
Okay.
But it's
cool. Yeah.
but it was good work.
Okay.
And it ended. They lost their funding, and we had to go find work again. And
Okay.
so I went with Raytheon in Texas. My husband and I both did. We both
Okay.
joined working on a missile program.
Were you guys married already at the
We
time?
were
You
married and
already?
little
Okay.
kids.
Okay.
And so we, moved over to Texas and went to work. And
Okay.
then they had a giant layoff at Raytheon. It's like 6 months later after we put the kids in school, bought a house, all that good stuff.
That's tough. Okay.
But the economy was hot. And
Okay.
so it didn't matter.
Okay.
We found jobs, even better jobs. So
Okay.
You know.
So that was a short-lived sort of a stint, I guess. Yeah.
it was good experience, and it
Okay.
got us over to Dallas area, which has
Okay.
been great for us.
Beautiful.
And then I joined Texas Instruments.
Okay. And Texas Instruments is what brought you here, right?
Yeah, I was
So you were
working with them.
in the States with Texas Instruments for a while at the beginning, or?
I was in the semiconductor fab for a year.
Okay.
And then I joined this projector team that was very famous in Taiwan, this technology many years ago.
Okay.
And
this was in Texas at the
it
time.
was in Texas,
Okay.
and they knew the market was in Asia for the manufacturers.
Okay.
And so they had this idea to build these complicated software tools to help customers, and they need someone to support them.
Okay.
So they thought, we're going to Japan first, study Japanese, you're going there.
Okay.
Went there and worked with them. It was a great experience, but things just didn't happen.
Okay.
And then we divided up the area by 3 support engineers. I had Taiwan, the other one
Okay.
in Japan, one didn't want to travel, stayed in the States.
Okay.
And the market just went crazy in Taiwan. That was back in 2005.
So it was kind of by chance that you ended up in Taiwan.
It was, and it was
Okay.
just fun times because
Okay.
the customers, my customers were here in Taiwan.
Okay. Beautiful.
And they were incredibly successful.
Sure.
And it was just, it went from like 30% market share to 80%.
Oh, wow.
For that division.
So you got the right spot then, yeah.
I was at the right spot at the right time.
Beautiful.
And
Okay.
with
Okay.
good people, easy
Okay.
to work with.
It's a great place, right? I mean, Taiwan has been, I've been here for a long time, and people always ask. It's hard to explain unless you come, right? People are really nice here. I think the weather's pretty good. It's a little humid, but,
Yeah.
you get used to that eventually, right? Yeah, no, it's great.
They would
Taiwan's
haul me
pretty good.
around. I mean, the customers would pick me up from a hotel in Taipei and drive me to Hsinchu
Okay.
to go work in their lab, you know?
Okay.
And I'm like, this is like an hour and 20 minutes. This is a long way.
That's
So
a
they're
long
driving
drive.
me. I had no concept of how much they would try to make sure I'm okay so I could help them.
I always find that, the people are always willing to go out of their way to do something extra nice. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
And the safety. I don't know. Taiwan is I always say the same thing, but it's like a hidden gem, when you come here, you're just like, wow, it's like this great island. I don't know. Nothing's perfect, obviously, but
Right.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good, pretty close, I think.
Yeah, that really
Yeah.
inspired me to study Mandarin.
Okay.
So that,
Yes, tell me
so
about
that they
that.
wouldn't worry about me. The customers
Okay.
would worry about me. They call me when I get somewhere. Everything's
Are you
okay.
sure? Okay.
Just to check on me, and they were concerned all the time.
Okay.
So I studied Chinese
Mm-hmm.
from a private teacher in the States, and when I had some business trips, I would take classes over at the Shifan Daxue.
Okay.
And that was a really good experience, and it's
Yeah.
opened up a lot of doors for me.
Okay, yeah. So, so studying the Chinese, tell me a little bit about that experience. Maybe, usually people start to have a really fonder love or better experience after sort of learning the Mandarin. So maybe you could tell me a little bit about.
Well, it just makes
Yeah.
life easier, even if you just
Yeah.
know a little bit, even if you're just functional.
Yeah.
You can do basic things.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere you want
Mm-hmm.
and not worry about if you order some food, you know what you're ordering,
Yes.
and
So you
just
did-
directions. And it's, especially when you throw in the idea of the different phonetic systems, you've got the Pinyin style or the
Yeah.
Taiwan style, and they're at war all the time, these little phonetic systems.
Yeah. Did you learn it when it was like the Juing Fu Hao thing, the bu pu mu fu?
I think
all
FedEx
that
is
stuff?
still there because they
Okay.
keep changing the name of Shiger to HSIH something, you know?
Yeah, when I was here, when I first arrived, quick story, I taught English, I taught kindergarten at a school, and I was coaching soccer at another school. And the school that did my ARC, I needed to go get the health check.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, go to, I think it's Zhengshao Donghua, and then, you got to go to the big hospital, Renai Hospital, right? And I still can't read very much, but at that time, my Chinese was 0. So, I'm walking down, there was no Google Maps or anything, so I'm like kind of walking down, I look up,
Mobile phones.
and I'm like looking at that. I think I had a map. Yeah, I think it was a map.
I've used maps.
It was a map. So it was a map, and I look up, and I'm just like, okay, no, that's not it. And I keep walking, and I look up, and I'm like, okay, no, that's not it. And then I look up, and I see Jen Ailu with a J, right?
Yeah.
Jen.
Yeah. You're like, that
Jen
can't
I
be it.
Road. I'm like, well, no, that's not it either. So I kept going. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like totally lost. So I went and I asked some people, and they're like, oh, you passed it. It's way down that way. And I'm like, no. What are you talking about? I checked all the streets. And then we went back. They brought me back, and they're like, it's this one right here. And I said, no, but that's wrong. It says, R-E-N, Ren I Lu, and,
Right.
and I'm like, that says Jen I Lu. But Taiwanese, they don't look at the pinyin. They just look at the characters.
Right.
And they're like, no, that's the right one. So it was crazy, yeah. Living in at that time where they just kept changing. I remember living in Banqiao, and there was like 5 different spellings for it. It was crazy. It was crazy times.
Yeah, and it's it's hard for the locals when they see some phonetic spelling, when they look at the phonetic spelling and then they close their eyes and they say it over in their head to try and imagine what it might be in characters.
Yes. At the very beginning though, people were just like, no, that's wrong. So it was tough. So I actually
Yeah.
I studied like a little bit. I did the Bapamafa part, which
Yeah.
helped so much. It helped me like an amazing amount. And then with business, you have to use it a lot, right? So,
Right.
so you kind of
You're in the service business. You have to use it.
You have to, part of the job of the service business is to make sure everyone's happy. I speak English to the people who speak English. Just have a chat and make sure everyone's having a good time. And then my family's Mexican, right? That's so I'll speak Spanish also too. We have a lot of Central and South American families and travelers and pilots for some reason that come and they spend time in Taiwan, and they come, so I'll sit and chat with them, and of course speak Chinese with the locals and stuff. So it's kind of a
Have
a crazy
you studied
day.
Taiwanese yet?
I have not. So
I haven't either.
I haven't.
Paisei.
Paisei, yeah.
That's about all I know.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, for me too. I wanted to, but I think it's harder to find like a place to learn Taiwanese. Like I'd love to learn it. Like I know like 5 phrases, but yeah, it'd be cool to learn because when you just throw one of those phrases out, everybody's like, "Whoa, so cool!" Yeah,
It's a tough language. It must be. I don't know very much about it, but I know that Sherda is offering some classes.
Oh, really?
It.
Oh,
But there's not a lot of materials on how to study it. If you go look in a bookstore, the materials are not near where they are for Mandarin language.
From what I heard back in the day, they were saying it's not a written language. Like there's not much. It's just kind of like sounds, and it's not. It was tough. I did have a private tutor for that way back in the day, and that we were doing like a Spanish Taiwanese exchange, but it didn't last very long. It was weird. I couldn't get it. All that's gone. Taiwanese is tough. It's tough for sure.
I think it's a neat language.
Let's grab the next one, and we will. My wife is actually Hakka from Miaoli.
Oh yeah.
So when I mention that, people will always ask, "Oh, do you know Hakka too?" I'm like, actually, I don't know any Hakka either. So yeah, Anzase is thank you, and that's pretty much all I got. Yeah. That's all I got.
The Paisei, the Anzase. I learned a word tonight. Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's all you need. Anzase. Yeah.
Hakka.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, let's grab the next one, and then we'll keep going. Yeah.
Let's
this
see.
one is going to be Chipotle. Right,
Chipotle.
so Chipotle,
That's
yeah,
nice.
Chipotle,
I like that
yeah.
smoked jalapeno.
Okay, Britt, you want to take that one?
Take that one
Just
this
flip
time.
it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So yes, actually, I did. I checked out your stuff, and I know you like jalapeno. So we got the Chipotle on here, and actually the next one is made from fresh jalapeno. So yeah, so we make all the sauces and stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff.
So you can get jalapenos here. They're hard to find.
They are hard to find. Let me know because we can get them fresh from farms in Pingdong, maybe like 3 times a year, like not much. Like they'll be like, I got 15 kilos, and we'll take them all. And then actually right now they're making poppers out of the big ones, jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
And then we make this hot sauce out of the little ones, and we have like a big freezer at home because we freeze them because it's either freeze them or don't have them.
I'll can them with pickles, but they're not as crispy, right?
True. Yeah, I
crispy,
saw
but
you,
I'll do pickles.
I saw you doing. I saw your
Sweet
Facebook.
Hots, like
yeah.
half jalapeno, half these great little Japanese cucumbers that they have in Taiwan.
Exactly. Yeah. So we do some of that sometimes, but like the hot sauces and stuff like that with the fresh is always nice. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Excellent. So you were mentioning 2012 you joined a small Taiwanese electronics startup.
Yeah.
In Tainan.
Right? And so that was a great way to really move into Taiwan and not be. It's very easy in Taipei not to speak a word of Chinese or learn so much about the culture because everything's so convenient in Taipei. Yeah. And so going to Tainan, I had to learn a little different stuff. So it was a good experience.
Are there any things you miss from Tainan living up here now?
Definitely. Like Tainan has a beef soup, fresh beef soup, made with some slices of raw beef, and they cover it with a hot broth and some ginger. And
That
also the
sounds good.
seafood breakfast. You can get fish soup or sashimi for breakfast, very Japanese style.
Okay.
That's something that I don't see here as much. It must be here, but I just don't run across it like I know in Tainan.
I think Tainan is where everything's a little bit sweeter. Is that what it is? Like you go for noodles or something, like chow mein or something, and it's going to be a little bit sweeter, and it's kind of, I think it's Tainan, right? I believe. Or is it Taidong? It might be I can't remember. One of them is...
Everybody says that, but I honestly feel all the food is kind of sweet in Taiwan.
True. The first time I arrived here, at the time there were bakeries on every corner. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. I'll get fresh bread from wherever I want. And yeah, I went in and you get bread and it was really sweet. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then you have that sweet bread for about a month.
Right.
And then you're like, ooh.
You want a sandwich.
And I'm like, what happened? Yeah, I want a sandwich that doesn't, taste like sugar. That's cool. So you're saying the parent company was the Chime Group? Awesome.
Yeah, they're a big company.
Chime's group, they have the TVs, they got a lot of stuff, right?
TVs are known for plastics, for furniture, for food products, the pineapple cakes.
Okay, wow, okay.
They're huge. And
yeah.
But they have a lot of little startup companies within the main parent group. And so, yeah, that was a great experience. It was tough, but going into a company like that, very traditional Taiwanese company, coming from corporate America.
Yeah, how was that? I mean, you must have some stories there. Yeah, for sure.
It was kind of a shock. I mean, they hired me, probably to show investors that they had support for American customers. And when I got there, that was different. And so I had quit my job and I came over and started working for them, and it was really different what they wanted from me.
I think it's well, it was. I don't know if it still is, but a while back it was common to have the kind of that foreign face and be like, hey, we got the foreigner. Hold on, bring the foreigner. We show. I remember this one school when I was coaching soccer in Danshui, living in Banqiao, and we decided to move out there, and I was like, I'm going to look for some part-time, hours, because I love kindergarten is probably my favorite job. I taught kindergarten. It's one of my favorite things. I love kids. I love little kids. And I was, driving by this place, and I saw this school. I said, I'll just call them up. Called them up the next day. I'm like, hey, I'm moving in the area. I don't know if you guys need English teachers, because it's kind of Danshui at the time, right? It was not even Danshui, like on the way. And they're like, yeah, we need. And I got the job. It was you walk in and they look at you and they're like, yes, you're hired. Yeah. So okay, I always wondered why. And there was this one time, this Taiwanese guy comes, he's like, big black Mercedes Benz, and he comes out and he's kind of looking around, and he's got these little kids, and he's like, where's your foreigner? And they're just like, waving me out. I'm like, okay, what's up? Come on out. I'm like, hey, how's it going, man? And he just looks at me. And he looks at them, and he just pulls out like this wad of blue bills, and he's just like, all right, just like boom, 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 boom. I don't know how much the tuition was, but it was like this stack of blue bills. And then they're like, okay, you can go back to.
I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I studied Chinese from native speakers because,
for sure.
It's different, and I think that studying from a native speaker is a different experience because you learn about culture, and you don't come out with a strange accent.
True.
I think it is worth it. So
I guarantee it. Yeah.
I know that I hear some people say that, the foreigners don't really know their grammar very well. But actually, I'm not a teacher. I've been fired from English teaching. And
okay. Me too. Me too.
And
I think
so,
we all have. Yeah.
But I think, I'm not a teacher. Just because I speak English doesn't make me a teacher.
100%. Same.
But if I find a teacher and they're a native speaker, I think it's worth the extra money to go ahead and get that native speaker teacher.
I agree, 100%. The accent, and I think the American-Canadian accent is quite a popular accent, right? So at that time, I would just get jobs offered everywhere I went, and literally there was Blockbuster videos still. Yeah. So I'd be like, alone, and like Friday night, I'm going to go get a movie from Blockbuster, and people would just be like, Canadian. No, they would say American first, and I'd be like, no, Canadian. Yeah. They're kind of like,
same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Teach English. I'm like, yeah. And
North
like,
American.
Exactly. They're just like, you know what? How much do you want an hour? I got my school right here. I need a teacher. And I'm like, kind of just want to rent a movie and go home. And they're just like, no, next week, come, whatever you want. It's like, whoa, okay. So it's kind of coming from a really small town in Canada where there's not that many opportunity for someone like me where I mean, a lot of people work at mills. Like we have an aluminum smelter, and that kind of employs, I would say, 65% of the town, which is great. It's great pay. A lot of my friends work there. It's an awesome spot. My dad worked there. And so from that to coming here where you go everywhere and they're just kind of like, hey, want to work? Yeah. And you're like, yeah, okay, cool. So, yeah, it's been good. It's been good to me. Yeah,
it's been good to me, too. It's I really enjoyed the culture, and I like working in Taiwan. I used to go to China quite a bit, fly back and forth, and go check things at factories. And COVID made me not go. Okay. And I found other ways to have the checks done, and it's actually cheaper and more efficient. Okay. So,
how do you compare? I mean, you went there for work, or were you
inspecting factories?
Okay. And how was that experience? Out of curiosity, I've never been because I always hear mixed things about it. I'm in the service business, so I don't get to travel that much. So
Yeah, but
it's
speaking Chinese makes it easy to go there, I mean,
Okay.
it's the thing about if you know English and Chinese, you can talk to half the world.
True. Okay.
And so I can go on public transit and kind of blend in and as much as possible.
Sure,
but
sure.
being able to just go somewhere and not have to worry about someone to pick me up and take me, I have a lot more flexibility. And if something I think is not quite right, I can also get out of there too. You can drop me off in the middle of China, I can find my way out.
Okay. Nice.
That's
Okay.
I think that's an important skill.
It is. It is.
Otherwise, you only get to see what they want you to see. And when it's
Kinda
inspecting a factory, you need to really be objective.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. So from then, so first we'll finish up on that. You think it's worth a trip for somebody from here that's never been? Kind of. But right now, I know it's a bit messy.
Right now, I
Right now, probably
wouldn't
not.
go. I
Yeah.
wouldn't go right now. And
Yeah.
I'm really kind of thinking about places like Vietnam or Thailand next.
Okay. Okay.
Or even India. I just think those are the new frontiers. That Taiwan is expensive to have products made. For low volume and high quality products, it makes sense to do it in Taiwan.
Okay. Yeah.
But China's prices are rising, and it's very difficult. I've got a factory partner in China that's shut down. 40% of the people have COVID.
Oh, that's
And,
tough.
and they
Yeah.
don't know when they can open again.
That's tough.
They're not doing the same terrible restrictions they've done to them before,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know when they can open.
I think my wife's phone just broke, 2 weeks ago. So we went to get a new phone, and I'm like, well, let's just get she likes iPhones. So I'm like, well, just get the good one, get the one you want.
Right.
And so we're looking at, the Max, Pro Max or whatever. And the guy's just like, don't even bother looking at that. And we're like, well, why? And he said, well, the factory's in China, everything's shut down. There's like, 退货. And I'm like, well, when will you have it? And he's like, who knows? So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of it seems like a bit of a mess right now. Yeah.
It is. It's really strange. My
Yeah.
last trip to China was October of 2019. I was
Okay.
in Guangzhou. I
Okay.
went to like a convention where people are Amazon sellers. I just was following
Okay.
along thinking I might want to do that.
Mhm, like the drop shippy on
That kind
Amazon
of thing.
thing.
And I was
Yeah.
just studying it, and I
Sure,
enjoyed
why
hearing
not?
all the speakers. It was a lot of fun. Stayed
Yeah.
a week in one place, and they had speeches every week,
Okay.
every day. And we were just going and listening to that. And
Okay.
I saw one of my friends who was a VP at a battery factory, and
Okay.
then got on the airplane. Little did I know that was the last time that I was going to be in China.
It's tough, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He wound up losing his job because he had to come back to Taiwan.
Okay.
He was a manager there and loved his job there, loved it, but
Okay.
he just couldn't go back.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would love to visit it, but I always hear lots of different stories, and I'm like, you know what? If I travel, I want to make sure it's going to be fun. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate because I speak Chinese, so that's amazing to go to
Right.
China if you can speak, right? Like we went to a few years ago. We took my daughter to Tokyo Disneyland,
Oh.
and it was cool, but landing in Tokyo, being able to speak English and Spanish and Mandarin, and a country where the three of them are useless. It was like
There's
day
a lot
one.
of people that speak Chinese in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, when we went, everywhere we went, I was like trying all three of them, and people were just like,
Yeah, it's
It
maybe
was
more,
crazy.
maybe more in the restaurant business. If I was ordering food at
Yeah.
some places under the bridge in Tokyo,
yeah.
and I would discover that
People
they
were
were
like-
really from China.
Oh yeah.
And so I found a lot of that.
Oh,
in
that's
Japan.
cool. Okay. Yeah, it was a crazy experience because it felt like day one in Taiwan again, where I knew zero Chinese, and I'm like one of those, and they're just like what, and yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
I remember feeling tired, when you don't know the language and you're there all day and you're going through meetings and trying to find your way around. I remember at the end of the day, you're just exhausted.
Mentally,
Mentally exhausted.
Yeah, frustrated and exhausted, and you're like,
I have to remember that when people come here and they don't know what's going on, and you're kind of thinking they should be more patient, but at the same time,
It's tough.
the conversation seems 10 times as long as it does to us if we have some knowledge of what's being talked about.
100%. Yeah. And I mean, being here, I think it's great because you can hear it everywhere. So you're kind of engulfed in Mandarin Chinese all the time. So, yeah. Take care, man. See ya. We got a comment here. So, same issue in Taichung before. Same street, use different versions of pinyin, making you think you were in the wrong place. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's.
Yeah, that's why characters are great. And I know people try to avoid learning. They say, I just want to speak. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what language would you study and not speak?
Yeah, no.
The characters. Of course you speak you read and write. Like I
Yeah.
studied Spanish in university and French in high school.
Yeah.
And of course you read and write. You have vocabulary words, just like every language, right? You have to
For
work
sure.
on that. And so,
For sure.
but the thing about Chinese, it's so tonal I would listen to recordings of the tones and practice writing opinion.
Okay.
Or I would listen to the recording and practice writing characters. And
okay.
when I do that vocabulary set and I have it in my long-term memory, then I can use it.
Okay, yeah.
So you can't just like sit and watch and think you're going to do it. It really does take that vocabulary practice, just like little kids doing spelling words.
My daughter, like, she's now in grade 5, and it's like, every day they're writing their characters and stuff. Yeah, so for me, like, speaking is pretty good, and you know, the reading and writing is pretty crap, but it's definitely like, I feel like you're saying, I feel like I've plateaued, and I've been here for so long that I'm able to have basically any conversation with anyone, and if there's something I don't know, I'll just recycle my vocabulary to make it, so I can just build it. But I'm thinking about actually going and maybe taking a one-on-one just to kind of add more vocabulary in.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, it's a matter of just building vocabulary and working on it, you know, and it's just, there's no magic secret or anything. Some people are better at it than others, but it really is just putting in the time, and I don't think you have to put in a lot of time. At least when I studied, I'm not doing it now, and so I've stopped. You know, I'm just at that level where I got to. Sure. But if I spend 10 minutes a day and just write a few characters and think about it, every day you're growing that vocabulary. I think I have a friend that has been doing that for years, and his vocab, like when we go out and do stuff, his vocabulary is growing, but he hasn't stopped. Like, he just twice a week for like 5 years, and he still goes on like Tuesday and Thursday. And I'm like, I should go, but time and everything, and what's more important, you know, for your business. For me, actually, Chinese isn't all that important. It's more about it's important to some level, but it's more about me just doing what I need to do. I think having a decent conversation with people is amazing. Yeah, like, that's one of the biggest things. But like, if it goes really deep into like a typical subject that maybe you wouldn't use very much, then it's like. Like world politics. Like politics. You know, people will ask me about that. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I'm lost on that. Yeah, everybody gets their vocabulary based on their interest. Exactly. Yeah, like I coached soccer here for a long time. Right. And had all the vocabulary from soccer, you know, even though my Chinese was like very minimal. I was like, I could, you know, name all the positions and stuff. And that's so random, right? But it's crazy. Yeah. Very cool. So how Chipotle was okay? It was. I like that. Spicy, I like the flavor of Chipotle. Not spicy for me. Okay, good. Yeah. So let's take the next one, the green one. Yeah. So the green one's jalapeno. So it should be a little spicy. A little spicy, yeah. So I eat pretty spicy food, which is great. And the only way I know that is that other people eat the same thing and they go, "Oh my god, it's so hot!" It's so hot. I'm like, what? Sometimes I'll have a guest that will be like, "Yeah, I eat spicy," and then we do the buffalo, and they're like, "Whew." And I'm like, the buffalo? Oh man, this is gonna be rough. A little more spicy. This is spicier, right? Yeah, so this is we actually bottled this one and the last one, and it's a pretty popular one actually. It's nice. Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. I like that because I love the flavor of the jalapeno. Has its own unique flavor. It's not too hot. Yep. But it's got flavor. Exactly. Yeah, jalapeno is one of the best, I think, for sure. So 2015, right? Opened Lone Star. For the reason of hiring to get your APRC. Yeah, right. It took me a couple years, and I barely squeaked by, and I hit the revenue requirement. Okay, and then I got my APRC. Okay, that's 5 years, right? It was 5 years at that time, yeah. Is it not anymore? I have no idea. Gold card people are getting it in 3 years. Really? I'm jealous. Okay, wow, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been here for a long time, but yeah, it was my first few jobs. I don't know if I thought I did a pretty good job, but when I would change, they would want me to stay. I think they give too much power to people sometimes. The schools I was at, they wanted me to stay, and I'm like, no, I found better paying something somewhere else, right. And they're like, well, we're not going to match that, and I'm like, okay, no problem. My contract is finished, and all good. And I got blacklisted by a couple of them because they wanted me to stay. And so when I tried to get, when I had to go to another school, I had to reapply. And when you reapply, it's like you start from zero again, from day one. So it was multiple times where my sort of 5-year counter was reset. It was kind of crappy, yeah. And it was because just for petty things, people were like, no, we want you to stay. And there were some crazy stories as well, but yeah, it's a bit silly, yeah. I'm feeling the heat on that one. Feeling the heat on that one? Okay, good. It's really good. Thank you. All right, appreciate it, yeah. Beautiful. So you were saying you failed many years trying to figure out what the company needed to be. Yeah, like, my dear friend, who's kind of a mentor to me, I'll
Nice.
just shout out to him as Florian Heike.
Oh, I know him. Oh my gosh. Okay.
We
okay.
know this is Taiwan.
I
I
kn-
love that
it's-
about Taiwan.
It's funny that we've never really crossed paths because when I was going through your Facebook, I was like, well, I know like
All your friends.
3/4 of these people. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florian. Yeah.
So Florian is the one who encouraged me to open my own company. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was terrified because I was used to the big safe job, corporate America. And I did it. And I had a few customers buying and selling things, checking things in China. Not very successful at it. And I don't know, it seemed like when COVID came, I got past some leads from a good friend of mine, Case Englund, who owns Taitoma. He passed me some leads that he didn't want because it didn't fit his business, and I made a service out of it.
Okay.
And so I give customers everything they need to know, open book.
Okay.
So instead of just matchmaking the factory and then adding my margin to the price, I introduce the idea of 3, 4, 5 factories. I do the comparison between that,
Okay.
and I let them have that analysis, and then I give them
Beautiful.
control over their project.
Okay.
Because that's what most people want. When they're making a product, they
sure.
feel like they've lost control, that it's over somewhere in Asia and they don't know what's going on, and maybe it's sitting on somebody's desk.
So these things would this kind of apply to like kind of the tech? The horchata is the best for the spice. Yeah,
It's
that's why
good.
we had it. Yeah.
It's delicious.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I really love
Thank you so
spice,
much. Thank
yeah.
you so much. Yeah, we make that one with fresh jalapenos from Pingdong. And
Beautiful.
yeah, like for me, for example, we make all of our own stuff, and we want to do some expanding, but we're kind of like stuck because when we've had 2 restaurants, a few times, and it's been good. Like the income would be good. The problem is it's hard to find workers,
Right.
like people to work, even if you pay well.
Right.
Because I don't know what it is. It seems a lot of people, they're happy to do like, Sogo, stand around kind of, for less money.
Right.
Or we've also, like, we make our own tortillas, flour, we make our own corn, and people love them. And we'd like to expand that as well.
Yeah.
But we also need, like, the factories. We also need, like, I don't know, we're kind of like,
I'd really like that
Yeah.
too. I think.
Yeah. I mean, would you
I
have
think a lot
advice?
of the
Yeah.
population here doesn't really know what a really nice corn tortilla is.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they do have them here. They're not great. They're not
Right.
great. Yeah,
I know which ones
yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. So we have those, but like for example, we get. So long story short, we don't like those, and at home we make them. So we have like maseca, like arimasa, like corn flour, right? So we tried to import maseca, and the GMO count was too high. Taiwan wouldn't let
Really?
it in. Yeah. And so we found an organic sort of company that makes basically the same thing in Mexico. Started to bring that in, and it was great. People liked it. But the guy who was helping us import, I don't know. I don't know if he wasn't doing very well or whatever. But one day he's like, "These are the last 10 kilos." A couple years ago, and he's like, "You got to import them yourself," or. And I'm like, "Oh gosh, I have to do that now too." So we found some organic corn, like dried corn from a farm here. I didn't know how to make that into dough, but
Yeah.
I did a bunch of research, and I called my mom, and I called some family, and then YouTube videos, and it took me about a month and a half, about a month to get it to where I wanted, and then we tested it for 3 months, hand grinding
Wow.
this corn.
I've
right?
seen that. I've seen
It's just like
the process. Like you have to put something on.
It's like a
'cause,
calcium. It's like a
yes.
calcium.
So
Yeah.
it needs something in order to be able to turn
Yeah.
into. It's basically like, what is it like, grits? And
basically
hominy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. So if you want hominy, I think it's the same process, but you leave it for, I think it's a week or something. Like it's you just stir it once a day and then let it sit. But it was a process, and so the funny thing is, we're looking for this like Mexican ingredient, this Mexican calcium, and we're like, oh, we couldn't find it, and so I kind of just went to Google Translate, and I'm like, who find this, and I had an assistant at the time. And she's just like, oh, that's the calcium everybody uses for fermenting tofu or something. I'm like, oh,
wow.
really?
Really?
Oh, man, that's amazing. So we got it, tested it all out. It's been amazing. And yeah, so we did 3 months of hand grind just to see if people would like it, because the machine grinder it was like $100,000 or something, right? So I'm like, oh, I don't want to buy this machine and then nobody likes it. So we did the hand for a long time. Then we bought the machine, and it's been amazing. The funny thing is, we were looking at importing machines to do it from Mexico.
Yeah.
But just by chance, one of the machine guys came by and he brought this tabletop machine, and it is for sesame paste.
That's funny.
Right? It's for sesame paste. So we're like, he's like, is it for dry or for wet? And I said, well, it's kind of wet. It's not like bone dry. It's not soaking, but it's kind of wet. So he brought this machine, and it made like this perfect dough. He just ground it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It comes out, you put the corn in, it comes out like Play-Doh, and it's just a grinder.
So they really are Taiwanese tortillas.
They are.
They are so Taiwanese, and
so it's like
great
what?
to use the ingredients local here and not have to import.
Yeah, it's great. So we did that, and again, we waited. We weren't sure if people would like it, and our corn tortilla sales are just like through the roof after that. Because even with the instant powder, people they're okay with it, but it's not as good as corn. Like the corn tastes like corn. Like it's amazing, right? Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I know that it's a very labor intensive process.
It is, and that's also a reason why. I don't know. Like, could we outsource that? We don't know, because I mean, who's doing that? Like, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. So it's like, should we open a factory?
Do you guys do tamales? You guys make tamales?
You know what? We through COVID, because we had a lot less business. They're so labor intensive. So for about a month, 2 months, we did them, and it was crazy because it was just like every day this like this table over there, this factory almost of just wrapping. So it was good. We do them once in a while. We haven't done them for a little bit, but we're due. I'll definitely let you know. And the tamales with that corn, oh man, it was amazing. So good.
I can imagine.
So good. So good.
Dallas, that's something that at Christmas time, tamales are a big thing there.
Yes.
And the different flavors, different, some even sweet.
Exactly, yeah. Some of the sweet ones. When we go to Mexico, tamales were one of the first things we'd always get. Yeah. And they're just everywhere, and they're cheap. But when we did them here, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so much work. It's crazy. It's kind of like zhongzi, right?
Right. It's
similar to zhongzi. Yeah. And it's funny because tamales are like in Mexico, they're cheap, and then zhongzi here are really cheap, right? So it's kind of like but when we did it, it's like it's such a crazy amount of work. We weren't able to sell them cheap. We're like, it has to be a premium.
That's the trouble.
But it was just like, they flew out the door, and people keep asking, and we're like, well. Yeah, we would definitely do them again soon.
Yeah, and some of the ingredients do cost a lot more here to do. And it's Taiwan is very cheap to eat here, but if you're eating something with really high quality vegetables or meat, that it costs money. It actually is more expensive. I think my grocery bill here is more expensive in Taiwan than it was in the States.
Yeah, for sure.
I can buy a big giant thing of kale for like $1, in US.
It's funny because here, like for example, chicken, like. Here, chicken breast is like the lowest.
Right.
And then in like the West, chicken breast that's premium.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants the legs and the dark meat.
Right.
But here, everyone wants the legs and the dark meat, and no one wants the breast. So it's crazy. It's like so opposite.
It's weird how the value works. It's how the value system works.
Like brisket is so expensive to buy brisket here, but back home that's like the cheapest cut.
Yeah.
That's why there is brisket, because it's the cheapest cut.
Well, I think we're missing it. I think that it's not the cheapest anymore. I think everything's gone up in the States. I hear from people how they're having a tough time.
I think a lot of restaurant owners that I know from Canada and the States, they had a really tough time. I think they did the lockdown for. I mean, it was rough for us when we did it for like 3 months or 4 months. There was like a year, maybe 2 years. Like it was crazy. So yeah, a lot of places are gone apparently. So when I go back this time, it's probably going to be a little bit sad. Yeah. Do you have a first meal you're going to go back and get in the States?
It's funny. I do like to go eat the taco plate at the local grocery.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I go to the grocery. It's got to have the beans and the rice.
And beans,
and some tacos. Just plain old pork tacos.
Awesome. That's so good.
They're the best at the grocery store.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
I know that's strange, but when I take Taiwanese friends to come, we've gone over there together. Yeah. And they understand it. They love the food, and they love even the market has so many fruits and vegetables there.
Yeah.
This very similar to how people like to eat here.
Yeah. I love it. I love going back. When we go to Mexico, Canada doesn't really have much well, it might now, but it didn't when I was there. But when we go to Mexico, it's like, oh man, all we do is eat, and it's like, oh, all the meals are so cheap, it's crazy. Even now, it's still cheap. It's nuts. It's nuts. When we went to Mexico, just before we opened this location, I was amazed to just see that the prices are like pretty much the same as like when I was a kid and I went to visit. It's like, what's going on? They're like, that's normal. That's just Mexico. Maybe now it's more, but yeah, at the time was rough. That's rough. Yeah. Cheers. Cheers. So you recently launched a podcast.
I did.
Your own,
it's Taiwan
right?
Factory. And,
Taiwan Factory.
And of course, the topic is Taiwan factories. You know, so people who have factories are involved in manufacturing or some type of product development.
Yeah.
Just the day-to-day things. It doesn't. I mean, the topic is really just getting people to know more about what people are doing here.
Okay.
And it could be someone from Taiwan. It could be immigrant.
Okay.
To me, it doesn't matter. It's more of just they're doing something that I think is interesting and cool.
That's great.
And just getting the word out there that I think people don't realize how many products could be made here. We have a great ecosystem.
For sure. Yeah. Is it so you do it in English or in Mandarin or
sometimes
both? Sometimes both?
I mean, sometimes it's in both because that's how it is.
Okay,
and,
yeah, for sure.
And so, yeah, I've had a couple of, I think one of my interesting podcasts was at a brush factory where they make paint brushes.
Really? Interesting.
And,
Okay.
you know, small like artist brushes or nail brushes or dental brushes.
Cool.
And the owner didn't speak a lot of English, but he had such a great DIY view on the world. You know, he had classes on how to use the brushes. There's like 40 different kinds of bristles on brushes.
Really?
And
wow, that's cool.
And he tests them all. He had his workshop and he like checks everything, you know, just that passion. It was a business he inherited from his dad.
I think it's
that multi-generation business is awesome in
I
Taiwan.
think those are really cool because it's always like it's been in the family for a while.
Yeah.
And it's almost like mastery level of like a paintbrush. Like it's like we think, okay, let's buy a paintbrush, but like the people that make them, it's some kind of like it's a mastery level thing, which is really cool.
Yeah. One of my customers found the brush in a store and wanted to buy them, and that's how I found them.
Okay.
And after meeting them and understanding how they put it together, it made perfect sense.
Okay.
She's a makeup artist, and she said, these are the best brushes. You know, they don't leave any bristles. They're just sharp. I can get a sharp line.
Very cool.
And then after meeting them and understanding how they made them and how they had like a little mini museum you can tour.
Okay.
And check out how brushes are made for kids, you know, kids' classes to go.
Beautiful. Okay.
And artists paint paintings and show how to use each brush,
Okay.
what you can get out of it.
Awesome.
You know?
Awesome. Okay.
It's awesome. You know, and,
that is
that's
cool.
Just one little place. I mean, it's all over this island.
Yeah. You for example, we do like flights. We have like beer flights, and there's a guy like in the mountain that would just make these like amazing, beautiful boards of Taiwan, like these wooden boards, and they're so cool. And so we got them, and then we put some holes in them, which is probably not what he wanted, but it's the perfect flight. You know, you come out and you hold like the bottom part, and you know people love it. It's really a cool thing.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what the guy does. He just does like little wood projects, and it's really cool. It's cool.
It is. Yeah, it's awesome. It's an art form.
I love that. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Let me pull up some pictures. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you found, but hopefully some good ones.
There'll be some good ones. Yeah. So the first one is this.
Yeah.
Boom. So this was the dragons. Yeah. So
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah?
I joined that competition where it's like, if anybody's seen Dragon's Den in Canada, where you pitch to venture capitalists.
Yep.
Just going through that process and getting honest feedback from people. I have to say, the people at the Canadian Chamber and also Dragon's Chamber are a lot nicer than probably those folks on TV, you know?
Yeah, probably.
But they just coach us and they're rooting for us.
Yeah.
And they really make you think about things objectively about your business to get it in order.
Beautiful.
So it was a great experience. I highly advise it for someone who's getting started or just wants that feedback.
How like, is it the first time you've gone out and pitched something? Like, how's the process of like, what's the process of putting your pitch together? Was there, you know, you bring it in and they'd be like, no, change this. Like, is there something like that?
There's several times you work with them and they give you some feedback. You know, for me, I talk to customers all the time, but I don't talk to investors. I've kind of bootstrapped my company little by little. I probably missed opportunity to grow because of that, but that's what I've done. And then I realized I feel like I'm still talking to a customer, I'm not talking to an investor, you know, and so they had me see it differently. I think the biggest thing they taught me, especially Elias Eck.
Elias, love that guy. Yeah.
Was that I need to get, instead of working in the day-to-day of my business, I need to get on my business. So he recommended that I read the E-Myth
The E-Myth is one of the first books that I read. Did you read it? Yeah.
I actually do Audible because I'm in the car riding the Sheeter all the time, and I was listening to it and everything. And
so that was one of the first. One of the first. The E-Myth. Yeah. And when I read that, a friend of mine who's also a business owner recommended that. And yeah, I mean, they want you to work on it rather than in it, the business, right? And it's a tough thing to kind of like, I don't know, it's tough to get to the point where you're kind of overlooking it. It's the right place to be, for sure.
It's hard to get there.
It's tough to get there.
Because you have things happen and you have to do some things so that you can do that.
Yeah,
you know, you can't just like abandon, you know. It's different from, delegate is different from abandon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So have you got to that spot? Or?
I'm working on it.
It's
getting there. It is getting there. It's still, I've got the day-to-day things that I'm working out, and it's really me, you know, getting processes written down like the E-Myth talks about.
Yeah.
So that people can find what to do. Because I know what to do, but other people don't know from that 10 plus years of experience what to do. So I have to write that down so people can use it.
It's transferring that transfer of knowledge is tough, right? Because, you know, you like, I go into the kitchen and it's like boom, 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 no problem. And then people are like, all right, what did you just do? And I'm like, well, I just made the food. And then so I had to change my thinking of trying to teach everyone to be a chef to where I have a pretty good chef friend who was like, you have to change it from teaching everyone that to making them follow your recipe and like measuring, you know, it's a little bit less passionate like that. You're measuring the grams of you know, the rubs or whatever that you make. But after we did that, we implemented that, the food was a lot more stable because everyone has a different palate. I had one guy, for example, who ate really salty, so he would always over salt everything, and people were like, oh my God, it's so salty. Another guy who like hardly ate any salt, so he would undersalt, and people were like, what the hell, there's no taste.
Right.
So it's crazy. So it's like, if you can follow the recipe and then you're like, that's the taste. So remember that, and then, you know, follow the recipe, remember that. So it's good.
What do you do when you have that process in place and you've got someone on your team that decides that you don't know what you're doing and they're just going to do it their way?
That is tough. You know what?
Does that happen?
It does happen. You know what? It doesn't happen anymore. But in the beginning, my wife and I, we were 28. So everybody that we hired was our age or older, or, you know, aside from like the young college kids. And when somebody was older, they would just be like, oh, 小朋友,小朋友你不知道, oh, 小朋友.
Sure, 老外.
And I'm just like, yeah, they're like, oh, and I'm like, this is my recipe. What are you talking about?
My recipe.
It was tough. It was tough. I would have to be like, no, this is the recipe.
Yeah.
So now that we have the recipe book, when I teach it, it's like, this is it. Just follow this. Step 1, step 2.
That's good. That's great
3.
advice.
Yeah.
That's something I need to do. I know it sounds funny that electronics could be related to this way, but I'm in that part of my business where I have to write these things down so that people know what to do, and then enforce that, I do need it this way.
No, it's there for a reason.
I do need it.
Yeah. And sometimes if they have another idea, you'll be, okay, explain it to me. Okay, the reason, sometimes it's a good idea, but usually it's like, the reason we do this is because of that. And then they're like, okay. It's tough. It's tough. But right now, I got a really good team.
That's great.
We actually want to expand again. I mean, we've my goal, I think with the food business, it's tough to get to that level. We've been struggling to get there. Like, we have everything organized, but for example, like a McDonald's or a franchise place, a 15-year-old kid goes into McDonald's and he can make the Big Mac because everything is so simple.
Exactly.
It's simplified and organized, and it's not the best burger in the world, but it's the same everywhere you go. You can get it in Thailand or Taipei or Australia or where, and the Big Mac is pretty much the same, right? So to get to that level of a system is that's the goal, because we want to do some expanding, but we're not there yet because
we need a location in Da'an.
Yeah. You know what? We actually want to do some expanding for sure.
Yeah, we would like that because Tianmu is beautiful, and I love coming up here, but it is a little bit far. You know, it took me about maybe 45 minutes or an hour to get up. It's funny, you know, I'm from Texas most recently, but we think like 45 minutes is far in Taiwan.
It's just, you know, for us, you know where Maji Square is?
Right.
That's like my border. You know, people are like, hey, we're going to, I'm like, where are you going? They're
really
like, oh, we're going there. I'm like, oh,
that's
Maji Square. I can meet you at Maji. If it's past that, I don't know.
That's funny.
You get spoiled a little bit. Yeah, I'm super spoiled here. Yeah. Cool. Let's grab another picture, yeah? I think, some of the other contestants, right?
That was actually the best part. Besides getting my pitch worked out and really helping me clarify my goals. I clarified my goals through this process.
Amazing.
I figured out what I wanted out of my business by being part of the Dragon's Chamber. But meeting people and talking with them and understanding their business, we are still connected, and it's really fun to just go help people and understand them.
How was the spirit between the different
so supportive. We all felt like we were winners. We were all winners.
Okay, cool.
And so everybody was, it was the process. It was going through the process was the most important thing, but everybody was winners, and they were just great people.
I got to chat with most, and everybody seemed super friendly, super nice. And actually, I will probably get some of the other guys on as well. Andrew from Flume, we'll get him on, I think, next month. Yeah, he's a great guy, Yeah. Pretty much all the guys. It was tough when the funny thing is they gave me the results, and I'm like, you're kind of looking at them, and it's funny because they gave it in this like weird order, and they're like, okay, this first, second, third. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not going to be like Steve Harvey. I'm like, you got to tell me exactly, because, it was kind of a crazy
my husband
situation.
asked me, he goes, how did they decide? And I'm like, what? That's messed up. Like, he was like, how did they?
It's so hard. I mean, I got all these points.
I was very glad to have third, and I'd been through a tough time with my mom passing and everything.
Of course,
But my business is a stable, small business. It isn't the next unicorn. I'm building a small business.
Gotcha.
I'm not building the next thing that venture capitalists want to latch onto and take that long shot on because it's going to be the greatest thing in the world. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm doing just a steady, small business.
Yeah.
And so I was really pleased to go through that process and even come out with third. It
was great. Yeah. Congrats
and so
on that.
mine is probably out of that group. Mine has been earning money for some time.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm maybe, kind of grown up past that a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
I won't try next year.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because I've learned everything I need to learn. Now I need to go take some action.
Do it. Okay. Yeah, like I understand 100% when they gave me, the numbers, and I'm like, I'm really bad at numbers, bro. So you got to tell me exactly. So I'm so nervous, thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna misread. So it was kind of crazy.
What was
hosting.
the guy on Miss America that misnamed? There was someone.
Steve Harvey, right? I think that guy. And I'm just like, the winner is the completely different person. Like, oh no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, come back, please,
please
tell me. Write a 1, a 2, and a 3. Just please. And I'm just It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. But I thought all of them were great.
They were all great. I really enjoyed hearing all the pitches and getting to know everybody over that time.
So we got another question there. Do you have any advice for anyone else wanting to pitch next year?
Just do it and do early. I did not rehearse enough ahead of time, and I should have. I wasn't as prepared as I should be. Mm-hmm. Again, I had, mom passed, and I just didn't do it.
Yeah. Some things are more important.
More important at that point. But just really take in everything and engage. Just engage and be open to criticism. Even if you don't agree, someone else's viewpoint of how they see you is still valid.
Okay.
It's still reality. Perception can be reality, and so you may or may not disagree. So what I learned is, when I gave the pitch on stage, I saw a couple people really didn't understand my business. Okay. So that meant I needed a better pitch.
Understand. Okay.
They had it in their head what my business was. Based on their feedback, I could tell that.
Yeah.
That's still valid feedback. I watched them, and I was like, a couple of them got it.
Yeah.
They got it. They understood it. But other ones that weren't related to manufacturing business, they didn't get it. So if I want to talk to all kinds of customers, I have to bring a better pitch. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also hard to be up there pitching, right?
I did like the timer is counting down, and that gave us some idea of when you need to wrap it up.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
That was helpful.
It was funny because I went, I think, like 2 days before, and they were setting up and stuff, and Elias is like, you can come and check out the stage. And when I met you the first time, actually, right? I went, and he had emailed me. Sorry, Elias. He had emailed me all the stuff, like the script and all the slides and everything. And I hadn't even opened it yet. So he's like, okay, here's a mic. You can get on the stage and practice. And I'm like, okay. I haven't even opened it yet. Oh my gosh.
It was like a wedding rehearsal dinner, It's like when you all go practice, and at least you walk the space and where you're going to go. It actually did reduce my anxiety just because I knew where I was going to go.
Exactly. Me too. It helped me a lot. I just was like, I haven't even opened the file yet. He's like, okay, remember that slide? Blah, blah. I'm like, I haven't opened the file yet. So give me. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. I was really happy with it. Yeah.
It was good. And slides on a big screen are very different than slides on a small screen. That was something
For sure.
I saw too.
Yeah. Awesome. I think there's one. That's the pitch right there.
Yeah,
right?
that was great. It
Yeah.
was fun, and I had so much support. I had some, one of my marketing consultants from Taichung came up. And,
Okay.
And Yvette, who's been helping me here from Mingchuan University, she's, was out there too. And just
Okay.
having that support network was great. It was great to look out in the crowd and see people there.
A familiar face,
That's
right?
right.
For sure. I actually, as the host, I also needed that. So I knew a few people there, and I was like, when I was like, I would be like, oh.
When I left
there's
the
my
stage,
guy.
Ping Chu did like the high five,
That's right. That's
So
right.
that
Ping
was
Chu's
like
awesome. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the support.
Yeah, Ping Chu's awesome.
great.
Very cool. Very cool. Get a couple more, and then we'll grab the next one. So this is
Yeah.
this is Cheers, right?
Yeah,
In
this
Taoyuan.
is Cheers in Taoyuan. So
Yeah.
that fellow was on one of my podcasts. He
Oh,
works.
beauty.
He owns a stamping factory, stamp metal parts.
Really? Beauty. Okay.
And his father's in the same business in China, and that's where he learned it. And he came back to Taiwan.
Okay.
And so he invited me out. They were having some kind of special meal there, and invited me out. We had a beer together.
Awesome.
And so I stay in touch with Kevin quite a bit.
That's really cool. I wanted to put that in there because I actually know Ernie, the owner of Cheers, right? I know him
Yeah.
pretty well. We actually get tequila from him, and
He is a
he's
talented
good guy. He's a great
talented guy. He's
Yeah.
helping me with some website stuff.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Shout out to Ernie. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get him on the podcast, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, he
It's
needs
funny.
to.
Yeah. I'm
He's
like, you got to
really
come,
talented.
man. Yeah.
He's
Ernie's
really
great.
talented.
It's funny because a lot of the pictures I went through, I'll pull them up, and
That's funny.
like the Hammer. I know
forgotten
also
about
know
it.
Patrick from the Hammer as well.
Yeah. I was in the whiskey club for a while, and that's my daughter on the front left,
front left. Oh, okay.
and my husband in the far corner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
And so
very
my
cool.
daughter and I were roommates for 6 years. She taught English here.
Yeah.
And that's where she figured out that she loved teaching.
Okay.
And she went back to the States and is teaching in the
And
Texas
she's teaching
area.
in the States.
Yeah, and she's doing
Okay.
a good
Okay.
job there.
Wow, that's cool.
But she didn't know anything about teaching. We just pushed her in, being, of course, her profile, blonde hair, blue-eyed teacher.
She got jobs
and
like
you just like shove her in the door and they hire her.
and they're like, whoa. It's so funny because when I was here, at the time when I was teaching, there wasn't that many. It was in Tuchen like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So there wasn't that many foreigners in that area. So it's like you're almost like this celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And then the school paid like a sort of our dorm fee. So it was me, and then about 6 months after I was here, these two British girls came, and one of them was like super blonde and like super blue-eyed, right? Like super gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
So everywhere I went before, everybody's like, oh, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? I want a picture with you. And when I would go somewhere with her, they would take the camera, and they would just shove it in my face and be like, take a picture of me and
take
her.
a picture of
Take
us.
a picture of us. Hey, you.
She's a movie star.
Basically, yeah. It was so funny. They're like, hey, you, hold this. Take a picture of us. So funny.
Yeah.
So funny, yeah.
Yeah, so my daughter enjoyed teaching here and really learned she loved teaching.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's grab the next one, and then I want
right.
to talk because I think the next picture will be a good one. So this is our only kind of like a fusion sort of deal. This is like a Korean style. It should be a little bit spicier than the jalapeno. Yeah, if
Ooh,
that's cool.
It's
yeah,
it's like
yes.
spicier than jalapeno, I'm afraid.
It's a little bit. The last one is crazy. These ones are all kind of like bearable. Like the last one's just it's just kind of crazy. So this is kind of our first, like, not our first, but one of our only fusion sort of sauces.
Yeah.
Because I like Korean wings. That's
Yeah,
basically the
it
reason.
does taste like a Korean ring.
Yeah, so we love it. One of my ex-staff used to work at a Korean place, and that was one of the things he taught me. And I was like, yeah, so I got it. I tweaked it. I made it a little bit spicier, and then, yeah.
I feel like this one isn't as spicy as the previous one.
Okay, well, hot sauces have like a life of their own. They kind of like, they go up and down. Sometimes one's hotter. Like last time I had them switched, and they're like, no, the Korean's way spicier than the jalapeno. And I was like, really? Okay, well. So this time I switched them, and I'm wrong again. So, but that's all right. Yeah.
Doesn't seem as hot to me.
Okay, well, perfect. Hey, oh, there he is. Emir Vari, that's
There
Ernie
he is.
right there. Yeah.
Hey.
Shout out to Ernie, man. When's that
Yeah.
Don Ernesto coming in? Jeez.
Yeah.
Waiting on you.
Yeah, he's something. And
He's a great guy, Ernie. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to help me get my website straightened out, which is
Beautiful.
great because my website is generating leads for other companies.
Okay, well.
It's working. It's
Yeah,
just working for other people.
Yeah, so you got to kind of turn it this way. Yeah, flip it. Beautiful. Speaking of other companies, I wanted to bring this was kind of a cool one because the helmet That seems to be one of the big things, right? Yeah, one of your big customers.
My customers are actually here in Taiwan.
Okay.
We set up a dedicated assembly line for their smart helmet.
Okay.
It's just started, and I didn't have enough runway with the budget for them.
Okay.
And they all showed up. Stuff showed up. We got 860 helmets that showed up on Monday morning.
Okay.
Yesterday, and
oh wow, yesterday.
And so it's into this big room of stuff, and we're starting to do assembly. We have 3 assemblers, we have a production manager, and Australians are here checking out their product and teaching us how they want it done.
So, what is this? The smart? What makes it smart? Like a GPS?
Camera.
Okay.
There's a camera, and there's that triangle thing is a handlebar controller. It attaches to your handlebar, and you can take calls. You can repeat a Google.
So it's like a Bluetooth
messages.
Connection from there to wow. Oh, that's amazing.
This generation, this is the first generation, but the
Okay.
second generation has Harman Kardon speakers inside,
Wow.
so you can listen to music.
That's
or take
amazing. So will this be released in Taiwan? Or did you say it's for Australia?
Not yet. It's not
Okay.
certified for Taiwan, but we're going to go ahead and do that. I think probably next year you'll be able to buy that helmet in Taiwan.
Okay,
But
okay.
it has
Well, I
to
need
go
a new
through
helmet
that-
soon, so,
through the NCC certification, it has to do
That's-
that.
okay.
It's like FCC in the U.S.
Okay, makes
and
sense.
Canada
Makes
has
sense.
their body too, but this now is sold in Australia and New Zealand.
Okay.
But this year we're selling into. I say we. My customer is selling
No,
into
that's how it should
United
be.
States and Europe.
I would imagine that would be super popular in the States.
I think it will be
Yeah.
crazy. It's a great helmet. It's
Yeah.
carbon fiber.
Okay.
It's lighter than most helmets
Okay.
because of the carbon fiber.
That's
It's
great.
very safe. The battery is the same battery that's used in electric vehicles.
So do you have to recharge the battery somehow, or
It's
or
got a
USB
plug
or something?
under the chin that's USB Type
Okay.
C.
Oh wow.
But it's the battery is the safest battery on the planet. It's used in electric vehicles.
Okay.
If you're in an accident, it cannot explode.
Okay.
Very safe.
Beautiful. Okay. Wow. And you said it's already released in
It's New Zealand and
New
Australia.
Zealand, Australia. Okay. Okay.
But now this next year, it's going into Europe somewhat, but really United States.
Beautiful.
Crazy. And they
United
needed
States.
capacity, so they've moved their added assembly in Taiwan. Today they assemble all the final components in Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
Even though most of the electronics are made here.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
But this year they just want to add capacity in the central location so they can export to markets faster.
Amazing.
And not spend so much in shipping costs.
Sure. Of course. Okay. Wow.
But yeah, they're awesome.
That's amazing.
They're so much fun to work with. These clients are just ideal.
So the helmet will hopefully be available in Taiwan next year? No?
I think so.
Hopefully? Okay.
We have to go through,
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
For wireless and Bluetooth, we have to go through NCC certification. We
Okay.
can do that. It's just
Okay.
we got to say, okay,
Just
we're
takes
going to
time.
do it.
Okay. Okay.
Do it, pay money, and get all the procedures ready to do
Makes
that.
sense. Makes sense. We actually sell tortillas, and we had to go through, a bunch of like we can sell them out of the restaurant, but if we wanted to go and sell them at Costco or Carrefour or something, we need more capacity, but yeah, we had to do. I can't remember what it is. The similar thing, but with food. Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
And even the helmet shell itself has what they call CNS certification, which is just safety for any helmet without electronics.
Okay.
And so, found some heat there.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Found it.
Okay.
That certification, when we import, the shells are made in Southeast Asia, and we import the shells in, the CNS cert, we have to go file paperwork and let people know that we're not going to sell them in Taiwan. We have to get them out of here by 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay. Really?
With tracking everything, because
Wow.
it's a safety certification.
Okay.
Even though they would pass. They passed, U.S. and European certs
so
and
they for
Australian,
sure-
so they're good helmets, but it's a matter of doing
Gotcha.
doing that.
Wow. Ernie, I got to get you on the show, man. He says January 20th. That guy, man. He's funny.
He's setting
Funny
dates.
guy. Setting dates. Okay. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm in the market. I need to get a new helmet, but I don't know much about it. I would like to.
It's a great helmet.
Yeah.
You'll
That'd
have
be
to come
very
over
cool.
and see us at the factory.
Let
Come
me
on
know.
over.
Let me know sometime. I would love to.
We're way out
take
there in
some video.
Sheeter. Sheeter
That's
is
not bad, though. That's okay.
There's a Costco out there, and it's like a
Yeah, I know
corner
Sheeter.
with a lot of traffic.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
where we
perfect.
are.
That's where you are. Okay, perfect. I would love to. Actually, yeah, I would love to get to check that out and record some video or something. That'd be really cool.
That'd be
I'd love
fun.
to check that out. Yeah, awesome. Very cool. This was one of the pictures I was talking about earlier when you're like, come out, support small businesses, right? So tell me a little about that.
It's right around the corner from my house, and it's just takeout food, is what they were doing at that time. It's just like a little stir-fry place, little dumplings, simple food, good food. Mm-hmm. But you're just not seeing them empty. Seeing places empty is just so sad.
Very, very sad, yeah.
So yeah, get out there and support local business because
Support
they won't be
business.
there.
They won't. They will not. Yeah. It's very, it's tough. Like we do a lot of marketing. We do a lot of events. We did World Cup. We do karaoke. We do like everything. And we're doing pretty good. But people always ask, how, you're so busy, you got so much on your plate. I'm like, well, if I don't do that, then people start to forget about,
Right.
that restaurant that's there that they went to 2 weeks ago that they liked,
Right.
It's important. Yeah. I hope this one's okay. This is you're baking cookies. I love it. It's such a good one because it's like, for me, that represents, we all have like this crazy, chaotic, like entrepreneurial life.
Yeah.
But then you're baking Christmas cookies.
Yeah, it was just this
so
last
cool.
weekend.
Oh,
So
really?
One
Nice.
of my friends
I love
is
it.
from Austin, Texas, and
Nice.
and she likes to
Christmas cookies.
Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
She's an avid hiker, and so she's out in the woods all the time, hiking and enjoying the outdoors.
Nice.
And she's here on a gold card, and we'll be looking to get her a PRC in that 3-year time frame.
Okay. Very cool.
But yeah, just learning from other people. I decorated one of them, and then I kind of gave up, and she took over and decorated
That's
the rest
awesome.
of them.
That's awesome. That's so funny.
She's much more creative.
It's funny. I mean, yeah, you can't be amazing at everything, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, they look great.
Yes,
I haven't had I haven't made Christmas cookies in so long, so.
We made so many
Yeah.
different varieties, and it was just us two. And they
Really?
were like, what are we going to do with all these cookies? And so we
Ooh.
just gave them to people.
Oh, wow, okay. Damn, I'm too late on that one. Yeah, very cool. All right. Boom.
Yeah.
This
so,
was a cool one.
Yeah, so, something that I run across with customers is they say, I ordered this item, and it was great, and I loved it, and I placed a second order for more.
Yeah.
But then I got it, and it's different.
Completely different. Yep.
And it's like, well, you know what it is. And they go, yeah, they're cheating me. And I say, no, they're not. It's what they had available.
Okay.
And when you place a quantity order, they have to go resource what they had.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be different. That's why a sample doesn't mean much unless you've started the production line and you pull that sample right off the front.
Okay.
Then that is representative of what's going to happen on that production line. But if you wait 6 months and you reorder again, you're going to get something different because
Yeah.
they don't have the same thing available to them. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because
I
I have
things from
had
Alibaba.
that. Yeah.
It's
Sometimes they're amazing, and sometimes you're like, "Whoa, what is this?" Yeah.
you have to kind of sort out if they are a factory or sales.
Okay.
And so I always ask, can I come see you? Can I come visit your factory and check out things?
Okay.
And if they say no,
That's the trick.
no, they don't want to see you, but then
they're
they're just sales, and
Some
what
middleman
that
or
means is they
something.
cannot control their product.
Okay.
They have no control. They are simply buying things and reselling them.
Okay.
A factory can control what's being done.
Okay.
So that's why
Yeah.
it's important to really connect with the factory.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I've had that experience.
Anything you buy,
And
anything
definitely.
you buy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, I've had great experiences.
There's
and
a reason
some
for
not
it.
so. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. Yeah, it's similar to a restaurant. I mean, if the wrong chef is in there, you get something different, right? If it's not, if you can't control, if you're not, yeah.
Even
similar.
ordering supplies, right?
Yeah.
Things change. Brands change.
Yeah, once in a while they will. They'll just bring you, the vegetable guy or whoever will drop something off that's totally subpar, and if you don't check it, it's like you got a box of like rotten tomatoes or something, and then if you sign for it, they're yours. It's like, so you have to be like, you check all the tomatoes, and you have to make sure everyone checks them. And once in a while they don't check them, then it's like you get to the bottom and there's like some rotten tomatoes, and usually because we've had the same distributors for a long time,
Right.
they'll switch it out for us. You want another one? Yeah, do you want another hazy? Want to try something else? Yeah, sure. No problem.
Yeah. These are really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe,
Can I get one more number 4?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
for
really
sure.
good.
The hazy's great. Well, I actually saw one of your posts. I don't think I have it, but yeah, the hazy. Yeah, that's a good one for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's so many people doing really cool things in Taiwan, and I don't know why that is. Is it because we're a small area and
Yeah.
we're just close and we see it? Because like in the States, there's a lot of people doing cool things, right?
Yeah.
Canada, a lot of,
Breweries are everywhere
yeah,
in the
but
States.
they're far away.
Yeah,
It's not like
yeah.
you just walk across them and you see them,
I think because Taiwan is so small, you get connected to people like maybe quickly, like the foreign community is not that big, but like I'm surprised like we hadn't met before that day, because when I added you on Facebook and I
Yeah.
saw
All my friends, yeah.
all the friends are like there's like
They're all the
30 or
same, yeah.
50 same people. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's good to have you here for sure. Have you managed some of the supply? How have you managed some of the supply challenges of obtaining needed ingredients in Taiwan? Is that for me?
I think that one's for you.
That's for me. So we have to just use local ingredients. And, for example, different kinds of chilies and chili powders, like Mexican stuff like that, it's just not available. So you have to get really creative. And for us, the secret was my mom. My mom had to do that in Canada. So whenever I got stuck on something, I would just ask my mom. And she did all that in Canada where there was no ingredients. So yeah, that was the secret for that.
It's you improvise, and I guess that explains why different countries the food is different, because you have to work with different things.
Local corn, local vegetables, local fruits. Yeah,
local's always better.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, last one. That's Park Life. I also know the owner there.
That's me and my cookie baking friend.
That's the cookie baker. Oh, okay, the baker. Okay,
okay. We just have so much fun together. She brings me places that I didn't know were right there. And I walked by and I didn't know about it. Like it could be a hot springs or a cold springs or just some really cool areas that she just enjoys noticing. And she'll think about me and say, next time we need to go back there, she'll bring me over there.
That's cool. Yeah, I think I know the owner there as well. Actually, when I was coaching soccer, it's so funny, all the pictures. Like I know Mark Popolo from Park Life,
really
right?
Great.
Yeah, he's great. And it was funny because I don't know if it was my stand or my first restaurant. He had just come from the UK and he was coaching soccer, and we were working with the same group, and he was talking about opening Little London, which was like previous. There was this is Park Life, and then before that was like Beer Geek, and before that was Little London, and he was talking about that, and it was like, wow, that's cool. That's really cool. I love how small.
I love Mark and his girl Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney. Yeah, that's right.
My husband's getting a tattoo when he comes back to Taiwan of some type of submarine Navy insignia here.
Okay.
We had to wait 3 months to get an appointment with this artist.
Really?
So Sydney recommended the particular artist, and
cool.
so it's going to look good. I know it's going to look really good.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, very cool. Yeah, that's the last picture we got there. Yeah, it was pretty. Okay, hopefully nothing too crazy, right?
No,
yeah,
I mean,
beautiful. Okay,
I think my Facebook's not too exciting, right?
No, it's sometimes you dig on some Facebook and some Instagram, and then people be like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? I'm like, well,
it was there.
Facebook or Instagram, right? So it looks like you're pretty big on the LinkedIn, right? So I have your LinkedIn in the description below.
Yeah.
The LinkedIn, if people want to get in contact with you or the company, I connected it to the bottom. So hopefully get some people.
That's a great way to get to know us and to reach out. And I enjoy talking with anybody who wants to talk about their product and what they want to manufacture.
Okay.
And glad to help.
Cool. Appreciate. Quick question: What's a typical day for you?
Typical day is out the door by about 8.
Yeah.
And over to Shijer to the assembly area.
Okay. So
and
you're
checking
there.
out some things. And say tomorrow I'm going to go visit some injection molders. I've taken one of my friend's companies is got some products that could come from there, and I said, let me take your 2 key people and let's go see them. I'm going to take them to a low-tech injection molder for plastics.
Okay.
And then I take them to a high-tech.
Okay.
Both are good. It's just different type of technology.
Yeah.
And one's going to have a lower price point. So for simple things, you're going to be able to go with that one. But if you need something complex, then you're going to need that other one. So
it's good to be able to have the options, right? Because some things, it's not needed to really spend the big money on, right? Like
that's right. It's simple.
The simple
stuff.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to do. I've got my little form that we go and just go and teach them how to go dig in and ask the second questions. You can't just stop with a quote. You have to ask more because factories are all separate. They don't get together and give you a quote.
Sure. Exactly.
They're all separate, and so what they're offering could be different. You can't just go on price. You need to kind of dig in and understand what's the difference.
Okay. So, that sounds good. So, right now that's where the helmets were made, or no?
No, this is
a completely different thing. Okay.
Different
so
thing.
you have all the factories in your back pocket kind of thing. I mean.
Well, there's just a lot of neat opportunities here to get to know them, and I think you just build those relationships over time.
Yeah.
And, have respect for people's business. That's easy for me to do. You just have to figure out, does my product match what they want to do? Because you can't have something that's very low volume, like 1,000 pieces, and then try and go to the biggest factory in Taiwan. They can't help you.
Of course,
they can't. And so you got to find the right size project for the right size factory.
Well, for us as a single restaurant right now, yeah, when we need something, I mean, they'll be like, oh, you need 10,000 pieces. And for us, that's like, oh my gosh, 10,000 pieces. For our restaurant, that's crazy. But for like a Din Tai Fung, that's nothing, right? Yeah, so it's cool. It's definitely
It is.
cool. Yeah.
And so that's something about factories, too, is that they have their different business models. You know, and some are just not going to be very easy to work with, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Just go on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure. And there's lots of options, right?
There are.
Beautiful.
A lot
Beautiful.
of good options.
So quickly about back to the podcast, right? So I know you're the point of the podcast is you want to sort of introduce different factories and different people doing cool stuff, right? Similar to what I'm doing here. I mean, I also meet a lot of really cool people, and yeah, they're just cool stories, right? So do you have you done any podcasts, like any collaboration podcasts, sort of with other, like you invite to, people to yours, they invite to vice versa? Are you plugged into the community?
I've done one where they came to my office area, and most of the time I go there. I bought some, thanks to Ping Chu.
What'd you buy?
I
love this stuff.
I have to remember what it was.
Is it the Rode?
No, it's a portable kit that I bought off a website that he said, just buy this kit and you'll have everything you need with headsets, everything.
Really?
With
That's
everything.
cool. Okay.
And it's portable. It lasts a long time, and the sound quality is really good.
Awesome.
And so I can just go into a factory environment and
so
just start
cool.
recording. It's
like
still a big little
okay.
suitcase that I got with me when I set it up.
Yeah,
but it doesn't require a lot of editing later. And so, he
That's the
was
best.
showing me
That's the
about
best.
how to publish on something like Podbean, where I can publish in the one spot and it goes everywhere I want it to.
That's the best. Yeah.
Great advice he gave me about how to make sure you go through that first initial setup.
For sure.
You're going to spend a lot of time on that first one, so don't worry about it, just do it. So his advice saved me a lot of time.
Okay.
And I also figured out that I really don't have an interest in editing my own podcast.
That's why we do it live. That's exactly why. Yeah.
So
I 100% agree with you there.
I edit
yeah.
mine, but what I do is I went to a class on how to use Audacity to edit.
Okay.
And as I was watching, I was thinking, that guy is really good at it. So
you're like, can I just hire you?
That's
no,
exactly
did you really?
What I do.
You just, oh my gosh.
So
totally.
at the end of the class, they
it's
say,
the outsourcing mindset. You're like, hey, actually, can you just do it for me? That's awesome.
Yeah. So they say, what did you learn in this class? I said, I learned you're really good at this.
Yeah, and can you do it for me?
Yeah.
And how much? Yeah.
It's
that's
cheap,
so cool.
And it's good. It's better than I can do.
Yeah.
And I really need to focus on just pumping out more content instead of worrying about if I'm the best at using Audacity.
Exactly. No, it's the truth. I mean, I just recently, I would say within the last maybe 3 to 6 months, started to make nicer thumbnails. Like if I could say, I was just kind of making basic ones. I found that for YouTube, the thumbnail and the headline is massive. It's so important, It's kind of got to be a little bit clickbaity. Just be like, oh, what's that? Pique interest a little bit. Like before, I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. So and Joe Rogan is just episode 1,255 and there's a name. So I'm like, well, I did that for so long and it is tough. So now it's like, you have a headline and then you have your thumbnail and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's been helping me a lot, and interviewing a lot of different big YouTubers here. Yeah, I got a lot of advice and a lot of tips from them, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoy that.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking of adding some video shorts.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
shorts is blowing up right now. Yeah.
And just thinking about things that are cool in a factory, like going to injection molding. How do those things get out of there, and why does it have spots in certain points? It's how it's pushed out of the mold, and so little bits on how that works. If you're in product development, all that stuff is cool.
I think that stuff that's normal, that would be maybe normal for you. People would find it really interesting. When I do videos of in the kitchen, grinding corn or something.
Yeah,
people are like,
awesome.
oh my gosh, and then the views are way higher than other things, because people are like, well, this is I don't want to say a specialist, but this is one of the special things that this place does. So something like that would probably do very well. Yeah. And I believe,
forget how many views my customer got. He was putting a helmet together, doing the assembly.
I would love to see that video. Yeah.
And I'll have to get the link to it.
Okay.
But it got something I want to say 3 million views.
Oh, wow. Okay,
and he said,
wow.
I was just assembling a helmet.
Yeah. You see people, they post things that's an everyday thing for them, and then it blows up. So it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And
Very
it was
cool.
a really great shot. Whoever did it just had a talent for taking the photo,
Beautiful.
And showing
Excellent.
it. And so
Excellent.
people were interested. They want to see what's next.
Excellent.
What's next,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
That's what you do when you watch a video. You want to see what's next.
What's next? And you're like, how does
How does this
how does
end?
it, like I don't know how a helmet's made. I have no idea. I've never seen that, and I've thought about it, but I've not like Googled it and been like, let me find it. So if that popped up, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely it's
Sometimes
weird.
you watch them and you get to the end, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, for sure. Like
I lost 5 minutes of my life.
yeah, well, there's like I think I saw like a hot dog factory one once, and I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, okay, I think I'm not gonna be eating hot dogs for a while. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, let's. You want to go for it? What do you think?
I'm afraid.
You're afraid? So
But, you know, hey,
you want
I
to go
got
for
this
it?
horchata, so
You
I
got the
think I'm
horchata
okay.
there. You're
Yeah.
good. Okay. Just take a little nibble first, and then
Let me
see
take
if
a
you're
nibble
good.
and see what I
Yeah.
get. I'm going to go for this one.
Yeah, go for it. We'll
Maybe.
just flip it off there. All good.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Cheers. We'll cheers this last guy here.
Cheers.
Boom. Yes. Thank you guys for watching.
Is this habanero?
No, it's actually
Ghost?
Keep going.
Really? There's something hotter than that?
It's called the Carolina Reaper.
Oh.
It's hotter than both. Yeah. So,
Man, oh man.
man, oh man, that's what the horchata is for. So,
That's got the that afterburn thing. Like at first it's not that hot.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
and then when you swallow, it's like woo. So while we're doing that, I'll just do a quick rapid fire. Cool.
I think I'm out of this one.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
that one's out of my league.
Yeah, no, that's cool. No problem. No problem at all. No problem. Let's do a quick rapid fire to wrap it up here, yeah? So what's a typical breakfast for you to start your day?
Coffee.
Coffee. Okay.
Coffee, and that's about it.
Okay.
Maybe a smoothie or a green smoothie. Green juice.
Hot. Yep. Okay.
Green juice. And maybe, you know,
With the kale, the local.
the kale. And then maybe sometimes like a smoothie like a banana,
Okay. Nice.
avocado, or papaya.
Yeah, avocado. I mean, it's funny. My uncle, he's passed away. Rest in peace. My uncle. We grew up eating avocado since before it was cool or whatever, right? And now he's always like, everybody wants to be like us. They want to eat our avocados. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You
Like
guys
my
own 'em, huh?
avocados, we own them. Yeah, it's crazy. Mexican uncle. All right, next, summer or winter?
Summer.
Yes.
I hate cold weather.
Coming from from the southern states, right?
Florida,
You got,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. Beautiful. What's your favorite kind of like content to create, like a podcast? What's kind of something for you to create? What's your favorite style, or how do you find content for like that?
It's really just about the people. The people are what make it interesting in my view.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, your go-to food in a Taiwan night market?
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken, the big one, like the ones.
Maybe
chi
like
pie?
the chicken legs that are cut into pieces.
Okay, beautiful. Oh, that one is hot today.
Oh man.
Okay,
Whew.
Android or Apple?
Android.
Finally! Oh my gosh, you are the first one. Everybody's like Apple.
Apple's so proprietary.
Yeah.
They don't own my stuff. I already paid for it. I don't need to give them any more.
100% agree. I have the Google Pixel. I love it. I love Android.
I do too. I just bought a Pixel.
Everybody
I got
who I
the-
asked this is everybody's Android.
I got the
or Apple,
Pixel,
sorry.
the Pixel
the
Watch,
watch. Ooh.
but-
How's that?
Well, you need to go to Dagada to get it turned on.
Oh, really?
For
okay.
LTE.
Okay. Oh, okay.
'Cause I've got it, but I'm with Chonghua.
Oh,
And
shoot.
so I'm like, oh man.
So, okay.
They don't know how to connect this to LTE in
Well,
Chonghua.
we always have the special Zhonghua ones. We have to go to the special one. You can't just go to anyone, right? Like when I go to Zhonghua, they're like, oh no, you got to go to like that one. And it's like, what? Okay. But yes, Android for sure. I love it.
Yeah, I'm an Android person.
Finally, it's probably been, I do that question maybe 20 times, and it's every single person's Apple. I'm like, really?
My husband's an Apple person.
My wife too. So Android versus the world. Let's go.
Yeah.
Favorite YouTuber or content creator in Taiwan or elsewhere?
That's a tough one.
Tough one. Do you have any channels you can think of that are, do you watch YouTube? I don't know.
I'm really not big on it.
Not
you know?
YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I listen to more music like on Spotify.
Okay. That's cool. Very cool. Okay. Favorite city in Taiwan? Oh, man.
Tainan always has a soft
Tainan?
spot for me.
Beautiful. Tainan is nice.
Just you relax there. When you get there, it's just relaxing.
Okay. Beautiful. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
Not a movie person either? Or really?
Not really.
Okay.
Not
Book?
really.
Favorite book?
Yeah, I just I don't know. I guess I work. I work too much.
It's funny because I kind of like also like I live in my own world, and I had the same thing. Like I like movies, and then like I watch UFC. I like UFC, and then anything food related or restaurant or podcast stuff. That everything aside from that, I have no idea. I'm no clue.
I'm the kind of person that if I watch a movie, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I don't rewatch them. Like I have friends that watch the same movie because it was
Over and
so
over.
good
Yeah.
and they want to see it again. But for me, I'm like, no, I don't want to see it again.
I don't want to see it again. Oh, it's funny. For me, a movie's like a vacation.
Yeah.
Because it's, you go to even at home. But if you go to the movie theater, it's like everything's in English and you have your popcorn and you're like, oh, I love it. I work a lot. So movies are like my vacation. I love them.
Yeah.
Dream job. Do you have one, or have you had it, or are you living it?
I think I'm living it.
Nice.
I'm almost living it.
Okay.
So, recently when I started this journey this past year, I did some, and I call it brainwashing, but some NLP.
Ooh,
class.
I love NLP. Nice. Okay.
And so,
okay.
I figured out that I want to travel more and I want my business to grow.
Yeah.
It wasn't
of course.
until this year that I put that together. I need my business to grow so I can travel more.
Beautiful.
So,
beautiful. Okay.
It's funny. You're just going through that with a practitioner that kind of pick out some things that they see.
Yeah.
That really
Beautiful.
gave me some clarity. Gave me some clarity about what I need to do.
It's important. It's important to know, or else, like Elias would have probably said, you're kind of like you're doing it every day, the day-to-day thing, and then the day ends, and then the next day you're doing it again. You have to step back and kind of be like, okay, what do I want, right? So same as me. This is my daughter, actually, the little girl sitting there. So we would like to kind of expand to the point where we're growing it ourselves, or we can franchise it or something like that. We're nowhere near ready for that, but ideally we'd like to do that because I'd like to leave something for her, but I'd also like to. Like, this is crazy. Like, a restaurant service business it's a crazy life. So if we get to the age where we're like 60, 70, 80 or whatever,
right,
and we just have one, and we're just going to stop. So it's going to be either sorry, I'm like, ooh, that was rough today. That was a rough
really
one.
something.
Yeah.
Woo.
So it's either going to be like, she'll take it, or she'll be like, this is way too much work. I've seen you guys kill yourselves your whole life. I'm not taking it. And then you close it. So it's like the mom and pop shop, they usually just shut down if the kid doesn't want it, right? So I'd like to get like the E-Myth beyond the point where we can just actually, it's not really financial. I don't care that much about money. I would just like to leave something. I don't know. And maybe it's just
No,
me.
I get it. I think, going through this NLP stuff, you realize that it's okay to be successful.
Yeah,
it's okay. So. It's absolutely okay. And that if you're successful doesn't mean anyone else is less successful.
100%.
And so like getting to that realization that you don't need to feel guilty for doing well.
For sure. Yeah.
And that the idea of you work hard, you will do well, that's not true. That there's a lot of people that work really hard.
Yeah.
You have to work smarter.
Yeah.
And that things just kind of happen a certain way, and it didn't matter. That it doesn't mean you did a bad job or you weren't good enough. It just meant it just wasn't the time. And
I agree. I love it.
And so that's a hard lesson. I mean, because we like to equate it. Like, I'm going to work hard and I will get great results.
Put your head down, work, and then let's get it done.
How many times have we worked hard at something and it just didn't work out? And then you got to figure out that, okay, what am I going to really do with this?
100%, yeah.
So I'm 57.
Okay.
I wish
you
I
look
had.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I'm blessed from mom's genetics.
I was going to say, your kids are 38. Like, what?
Yeah, they have to be. I'd be like 12.
Okay. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
I was still very young. I was a young mom.
Okay.
But, just understanding that idea that, we do deserve some things, and that it's not a matter of how hard you worked or whether you deserved it or not.
Agreed.
It just happened that way.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, a lot of people think it's luck, but I think you when you grind it out for a long time, and you keep learning and you keep improving and you fail forward.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
And just being open to new ideas, new ways of doing things, and not have to do it exactly your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to control too much. Just let things happen.
I agree. I mean, a great example is this podcast. I started it. We've been doing it once a week for over 3 years, nonstop, through everything. And people will always say, how can you keep that up. And I'm like, that's just once a week. And I mean, my whole life is way crazier than this. Is great. I'm having some wings. I'm having a beer. We're having a great chat about business. It's great. This is easy. All the other stuff I do is kind of crazy. So this is, but with podcasts, I see many come and go, and it's just, I don't know, just consistency, I guess.
It's like everything, right? I mean, when I started my business and I failed for many years and I was really struggling, I had friends tell me, when is your expiration date? When are you going to decide that you're going to give up? And in my view, if I decide that ahead of time, I've already given up.
100%.
And so I can't think that way. And I didn't feel that way. And so I'd say, not yet. Maybe tomorrow I will feel that way, but today I don't. So I'm still going to keep plugging away at it.
I love that. I have to cheers you on that.
But I mean,
That's
so many
fantastic.
times, when people say you need to set a time to fail, right? That's basically what that is.
You
need to set a time to fail.
Yeah.
You might as well go ahead and fail now. Just give
it up now, and that's also I always like the story of the Colonel Sanders from the KFC, right? I don't know.
I don't know
so
that
basically, long story short is, I think it was in his 70s or 80s. Like he was getting up there, and he was door-to-door sales, and a lot. He was not doing well, and the one thing he did was amazing chicken. So he started doing, like, combining his two skills, the chicken and then the door-to-door sales, and everyone loved it. And eventually, he got to a point where he could open a place, and then he got, a business partner come in, and it was just like it blew up. And now KFC is everywhere, and he's I want to say he was in his 70s. Like he's up there for sure.
So I see a question there. It says,
Yes.
how's the battery life on your watch? I'm going to say it sucks. It's like one day and not 24 hours.
Okay.
But it does charge fast. If you put on the little charger disc, magnetic charger, it charges within the hour or 30 minutes. It charges
Really?
fast.
Wow. Well,
But it lasts about, I'd say, 24 hours tops.
Okay.
So if you're going to sleep with it on and measure your sleep, you're
This-
going to have
is
to
that-
charge it a bit.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because I used to have the Xiaomi one, but it just never works properly. It was always good to check your sleep pattern.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it was pretty crap. Yeah.
It kind of keeps me moving. It tells me I need to move
10,000
at certain
steps
times.
or whatever you need to hit.
Move.
Yeah,
you need
that's
to
cool.
move again this hour.
Okay. That's cool. Yes. Yeah. No, that's a friend of mine, Adarsh. Yeah, definitely. We've been talking about the Google Watch for a while. Yeah. So we're on
so
the
I hope
fence.
that Chunghwa can add the service. I hate to have to change providers, but
that's.
I
I'm
really
Chunghwa too.
I want LTE. I want to be able to go for a run in the park without having to take my phone.
Yeah. Of course, that'd be beautiful. Yeah. Excellent. But you know what? I think we covered most of the stuff we want to chat about.
I could probably talk to you all day. You have a lot of interesting things going on.
Well, we can do it again sometime. Yeah. We'll do one now, and then maybe in the next couple months we'll do it again if you're interested.
Yeah, and see if I'm
interested.
crazy by then. The factory is just setting up.
Yes,
There's it's rooms full of boxes.
Maybe we can go to the factory to do
That'd
it.
be fun.
I would love to do
That'd
that.
be fun.
Yeah.
And see what's going on.
We don't have to kill you with the last wing there. We can just have, I'll bring beer.
That was
and
hot.
And I'll bring actually, I have done some traveling ones where I've gone down to like Kaohsiung and different places, and I brought like the whole gear. It was a little bit crazy, but I'm actually looking at some portable stuff as well. So there's some wireless things that sound not quite as good as this.
Yeah, this is really nice. This sounds good.
Yeah, this is like I have my daughter and my business and all that. This is kind of like my own small little piece of stuff I love, and I don't have a car. I have zero interest in cars. I would have the scooter.
Well, you need to be here, and this is really cool. I mean,
thank you. Yeah, you know what? Usually it's really crazy, but today it's a little slow, so that's all right. Hopefully the audio was even better. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for inviting. And
my pleasure.
Good beer, good wings. That last ones were hot, man.
Congrats on the Dragon's Chamber. So
It
cool.
was fun.
So cool.
It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Beautiful.
Good experience.
Yes, I have so many ideas, and but for the Dragon's Chamber, but we'll chat in a sec. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to get in touch with Kara Atchinson here. The link for her LinkedIn is below, and also for Lone Star Technology, the link is also below. So definitely hit her up if you want to get some good things done. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Catch you guys next time. Bye bye.